This island was built to keep one promise: no one escapes Alcatraz. Surrounded by freezing water, powerful currents, and constant guard patrols, the prison was believed to be impossible to escape. In 1960, a highly intelligent inmate named Frank Morris arrived. He wasn't the strongest prisoner, but he was one of the smartest. He found two men who shared the same goal: brothers John and Clarence Anglin. Another inmate, Alan West, quietly joined the plan. Every prison cell had a small ventilation grill. At first, it looked completely ordinary, but the concrete around it had slowly weakened over time. Every night, after lights out, the men chipped away at the wall, just a little at a time. Never enough to attract attention. Their tools were unbelievably simple: metal spoons, pieces of stolen steel, and a homemade drill powered by a vacuum cleaner motor. The work was painfully slow, night after night, week after week, month after month. But removing the concrete created another problem. The evidence had to disappear. So they scattered the dust during daily routines, a little at a time, until nobody noticed. Behind the prison cells, hidden inside an unused maintenance corridor, the men secretly built a workshop. If they escaped, the guards would immediately notice empty beds. They needed a distraction, so they built fake heads, using paper mache, soap, paint, and real human hair collected from the prison barber. At night, the dummy heads looked convincing enough to fool the guards, but escaping the prison was only half the challenge. The freezing waters surrounding Alcatraz had claimed many lives. Swimming wasn't an option, so the men secretly collected prison raincoats, not dozens, hundreds. Every stolen raincoat became another piece of their plan. They stitched them together by hand, creating a homemade inflatable raft. Every seam had to hold. Every stitch mattered. Even the paddles were carved by hand inside the prison. After months of preparation, everything came down to one night. June 11, 1962. The fake heads were carefully placed onto the pillows. From the hallway, nothing looked unusual. One by one, the men slipped through the hidden openings behind their cells. They climbed into narrow maintenance passages inside the prison walls. But then, something went wrong. Alan West couldn't get through. His opening wasn't wide enough. He tried to break more concrete, but there wasn't enough time. He was forced to stay behind. Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin continued without him. They climbed onto the prison roof, carefully avoiding the searchlights, then made their way down the outside of the prison toward the shoreline. There, they inflated the homemade raft, using a simple hand pump. Moments later, the three men disappeared into the darkness of San Francisco Bay. The next morning, guards began their routine inspection. What they found changed history. 3 empty cells. Within hours, the FBI, the Coast Guard, local police, and dozens of search teams flooded the bay. Helicopters searched from above. A few personal belongings were eventually recovered. But there was one thing investigators never found: the men themselves. The FBI kept the case open for years, searching for answers, following leads, chasing rumors. But no bodies were ever recovered, and no confirmed sightings were ever verified. Did they disappear beneath the freezing water? Or did they achieve the impossible and become the only men to successfully escape Alcatraz? More than 60 years later, nobody knows for certain.